Hi guys, it's Suzanne HB, Crazy Just Might Work on Instagram, and this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make the raspberry ripple design, which was created by Illuminati on Instagram. And this is one of the pics that she's posted, well because there's several generations of Illuminatis who do the looming, but this is the picture that's been posted. With all these gorgeous colours there. Now this is an interesting one because what you do is you create something and you put a chain then through it. Sorry, I'll just go back here. Really cool account they have. So worthwhile checking out Illuminati on Instagram. Yeah, they've always got something interesting on there and lovely people too. So let's get on with it. I will show you this, which looks quite different from the Raspberry Ripple one that you see there with all the gorgeous colours. But this will give you an idea of just the basic layout of how the bracelet works. What we're going to do is actually make the part that I've done in white here first, and then the chain actually comes and runs through after that all the way up the bracelet. So you make the bracelet the length that you want it, and then you run the chain all the way through. I actually really like, if you want to see something really cool, if I take this chain out to show you, should have prepared one earlier, but I'll show you on this top one. I actually really think that this would make such a cool Christmas wreath if you did it in the right colours. Don't you reckon that's just gorgeous by itself, especially in this limited edition where it just holds so nicely? So yeah, that's another option, is you can just stop at this one. And I'm thinking about making it one as a lovely Christmas wreath one as well. So there's another idea for you if you don't want to run the chain through it. So when we get to running the chain through, we're going to be going through from the side like that as it runs through. Alright, so let's get on with the first part of it, which is just to run the original part of the bracelet. Now I'm going to I've given myself a little diagram over here, so I'm going to actually run it through with some different colours to give you an idea of the sort of prettiness you can come up with this design. Oh, I should say too, this bracelet was actually was named by my son, because he looked at one that I did and said that a good name for it would be Raspberry Ripple. So there you go. He gets a little credit too. Alright, let's get started. The first band you're going to do will be the cap band, and in the rest of the design, this colour will be the first band of the next design. So the cap band will be the first band, going back to this one. This, well, it's kind of like the ending band, I guess. It loops together the last bands at the top here. But that is the same colour as this cap band, because you'll see it is at the bottom of the start of the design there. So anyway, too much explanation, not enough demonstration. Let's move on. Alright, so the next one I'm going to show you how to do I'll show you my way. Then I will show you how to do it by turning it around. But this is hopefully a good way for you to do it too. So the next one you grab is going to be, I call this my leaf stitch. I started to call it the leaf stitch because I was sick of calling it something, you know, that stitch that I do all the time on my hook only design thingy. So you get this on your hook, put it there, grab the next colour that you've got, put it there, go over that one, under that one, and hook it together. It's just basically a way of getting a single loop onto a full band. And I like doing this because it means you don't have to play around with getting it onto that right hand side at the end of getting it on, you know, fiddling around with that and turning it around. Alrighty, so we've got that looking like that, and on the other side you're going to just balance it out with another band on that side, so you've got them looking even. Alrighty, and the next one is going to be the one that runs through. Okay, it runs through these two middle bands here. So for that I'm going to use start with my red bands. Now the way that I like to get it on the middle band is, I actually quite like the way that Jace Alvarez does it, where you get the bands that you're going to use, you grab this left hand band together with that, so you've got hold of both of them, pull that through, try and get more in the centre, and you don't pull it through the last one, you just pull it through those middle ones, reconnect that one so it's through those middle loops, and reconnect that one, so you now have it on the centre. And that I think is probably the simplest way of doing it. I don't do it all that, I don't do it that way myself. Most of the time I'll show you my way on another as we go up the bracelet, but that's probably the simplest way of doing it, particularly if you're not used to hook only designs. Alrighty, now the next one we've got is we need to get a red loop in my design, whoops, don't lose it, a red loop on these two bands and a red loop on these two bands over here. So we can do the same thing, but take these two bands off. So let's do the Jace method, I'll call it. Take those bands off, slide this band through those two and back on. Once that's on, you don't have to worry about these ones, you just put them back on. And then the left hand bands, of course, are much easier to get on. You just slide those through those two left hand bands, like so. And we've got it looking even again. Now the next thing we're going to do is just again put a chain on either side of those. So another chain. So again, what I'm going to do is the Jace method to show you this way all the way through, which is, oh, sorry Jace, I'm not doing this very well. Let me try that again. Put it back on. What you do is you get this band and you put it next to these bands, usually on that side. Then you grab these ones together with that band you're going to put on, hook it over your hook. Sorry about this, I'm just trying to keep in shot. Hook it over your hook under there, and then you put all of those bands, one and the other ones you're holding on to, hopefully, onto that side. So you've got two chains there in that colour. On this side, as I said, it's so much easier. You just slide that through there. Alrighty, it's looking very raspberry-like. Now we need to again get a band to loop onto those middle two. So we're going to do the same thing again. And again, I'm going to make this a red one. So grab this band together with the band you're going to loop on. Slide it through those two. Don't slide it through this one. Hook it back. And hook that one back on as well. And that's almost the end of the first pattern. So then we go back to the band colour that we used for the cat band and slide that one through all four loops that you've got sitting on there. And there you have it. There's your first pattern. Okay, so let's run that through again. We'll start with my leaf stitch to get it over this side. So you get it over, under. So it's under, over, under. And slide across here. And just gets that loop on there without having to worry about getting this band out of the way. Because another way would be to slide this first loop on, slide that one out of the way, put that loop on, put that one back. So it's just a way of avoiding having to do that. Repeat that step. Now we're going to even that up by putting a chain on that side just through that first one. And then it's even. Okay, so you can see we've got 1, 2, 3. The next one to put on is this first red band, which is just going to go in between these two here. So I'll show you the way that I do it, which may or may not be easier for you, I don't know. So I'll show you a couple of different ways. I just actually put this band through the first 3 bands. And then I pinch that left-hand band so that it doesn't go anywhere. Let that come through a little bit, that red band, and just grab it. So put my hook through that and pop it off. Now that we've got the bands through, this one's not going anywhere because you've got a hold of it. You just pop it back on again. So I actually find that the fastest once you're comfortable with hook-only designs. I do exactly the same thing when it comes to these bands on these sides as well. So because the next ones we have to put on is a loop on here on these two and a loop on here on these two, I actually grab my band. I don't take anything off. I slide it through all of them. I pinch these left-hand ones. So basically I'm just squeezing so that they don't slide away anywhere. I put my hook between those ones, so just over the top of the ones you want to catch on, through the middle of that band that you're pulling on, and just pop it off. Then you pop that back on there. Then that left-hand one is really easy. Just slide it under those left-hand ones there, like so. Now you need an extra chain on both of those sides. So again, I would actually do that by sliding this one through all 4, pinching the ones on the left that I don't want it to go through, and going down in between those and grabbing that band. Putting that back on again and doing the left-hand one. Now we want one to go in between those. So my way would be grab the next band, whichever colour it's going to be, mine's still red, slide it through the first 3, pinch that left-hand band, go over the top of the band you do want to catch, and hook that one off and reconnect. And then grab the band that was your cat band colour and go from there. Alrighty. Now that's the ways that I found that are the easiest to do and don't actually require you to take much off the hook at all. So I'll go through and I'll show you this one, which is probably more a beginner way. If you're not as familiar with hook-only designs, it's probably easy to control the bands that way. So we'll try doing it this way, but you've been given both then to play with. Alright, so we're back to our green bands. Oh, just make sure I've got enough green bands hiding. Right, so we're back to our pale green bands. Got that dark green band there. So we're going to put a pale green band through both of those loops. Okay, now you can do my leaf stitch, which will get this right hand one on straight away, or you can slide that one through and then into autopilot. Grab that band together with the band you're going to put on so that you've got control over both of them. Pop that through that side. Get the band that you're hooking on first, and then the second band. The left hand side, and I seem to have run out of green. I'll just grab some more green. It's poorly planned, wasn't it? Okay, so I'll grab my green and slide just through that first one so that it's even, just a loop either side. Then we're going to do the red one in the middle, and again we'll try doing it this way. We'll get our band and the band that you don't want it on the left, because you want to put it on the middle too. Grab a hold of that band on your hook, pull it through just under those two, don't go under this one, and pop those two back on. And if they get twisted up, just pop it back so that they're in order and they look like this. Okay, so next ones, again, you can take these two off, grab that new band, put it through both those two on the right, put that band plus the left two bands back on, and then do the same on the left, like so. And you need another chain on both sides. So, sorry, I keep going into autopilot. Then you grab these two bands, try and keep in focus. Grab these two bands as well as the band that you're going to be hooking on. So you've got control of all of those, and bring those through that side again, and put all three of those back on that way. And then this one goes through those two on the left, so you're just forming a single chain on top of there. And the last one is to do a loop that goes through those middle two. So you grab that band on the left that you don't want it to go through, together with the band that you're going to be looping on. Grab it on your hook, pull it through those two, don't pull it through this one, and then put those two bands back on. And that gets your loop in the middle. And then finally, you're going to lock it in with a band of the colour that you used on your cap band right back at the beginning. So I personally think that this is a gorgeous design just as it is. It's really pretty. But the next stage is I will show you how to put the chain through the middle. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm back and I've sorted out the colours that I'm going to use from my chain. I'm going to use, the first chain will go around this loop, so it'll sit there. The second chain will sit where my hook is there, that part there. The third chain will sit here. The fourth chain will sit here, and you'll be back to the first one, which will sit there. So mine is going to have the dark green, the light green, the red, and the red, and then we'll go back to the dark green. Now I didn't discuss with Illuminati how to start this off, so hopefully I'm not doing anything too drastic or drastically different. But what I'm going to do to start this off is actually let the cap band separate a little bit, and then I'm going to start by putting my hook up through that loop there, and sorry, I won't. I'll start by putting this band on, and then putting it up through there. Hope you can see that. Twisting this band once, so you can kind of let go with that. Twisting that band once in figure 8, hooking it over, and that's forming my first band. So the cap band will come down and around that. Oops. Sorry about that, my camera just told me that, on my iPad told me I ran out of memory, so I just had to clear some other bits off it. Alright, so we've got that first loop on there, and the cap band will then just come round when we finish the bracelet, and I will show you when I finish the bracelet because it's not wanting to cooperate with me right now. Cap band will come through. Trust me, we'll fix that up at the end. Okay, so we've now got that on there as our first part of the chain. My focus. I just recorded this, but I kept going out of camera range, so we'll try and do better with that this time. Alright, so we get our next band and just grab a hold of it and pull that just basically through the front and back of that there, that chain that you've just made, and from the back you can see that you want to go through the next hole in the center. So you've got 4 spots for it. I'm just going to fix this up because it's starting to get irritating. There you go. My cap band will now go around the outside like that, and it will sit nicely for me. Here, hey. Alright, so you'll notice that there's this bottom part, and that's the next hole that it will go through, that big hole, this teardrop hole, and then the original cap band colour hole. So that's the 4 positions that you'll put your hook. Alrighty, so the next one I'm going to do is going to be a red one. Same thing again. All you're doing is just taking it basically, and this one is the best one to see it. You've got, see, all you've really got on there is the chain, and you're really just going to take it through, doing it again, getting completely out of camera shot. You really want to just take it through that chain there, and then take it up to the next one, which is this position here. Reattach it. Grab your next colour, which for me is red again. Again, taking it through that chain you just made. You can do this from the back again, finding that next hole, which is that band there, and through the top. This is much easier when you're not actually trying to demonstrate it and do it in a really strange position to get it in camera shot. Alright, so we'll go on to the next one. Back to our cap band colour. Pulling it, you pull down a little bit, gives it a little bit of space. So pull down, and that takes it through the front and the back. And then you're going to go through the next position, which is this one just here, right in the centre. Hook that on, grab the next band, pull that through. Don't catch anything else, you're just going through those 2. To the next position, which is that big hole in the centre. Hook it back on. Moving on to the next colour. Pull that through. Find the next position, which is right here. Rehook it. You're getting that chain coming all the way up. And our next position, pull it through this one and through the back, taking it back through the next position, like so, and you're back to the beginning again. So last time, grab that colour, pulling it through that chain. You can see a little bit better on that side bit there, so it's going through the chain, through the next hole. Try and turn it so you can see, which is this first loop here, first pale green loop. And you'll be doing it on the same position every time, so it'll be going through cap band colour, first wide loop, big hole in the centre, this kind of like centre of the upside down heart, teardrop shape, back here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm in position 2 at the moment. So it's exactly the same each time. You'll get used to where the positions are. So I need my next one. Going through there, going up into the big centre hole, rehooking, grabbing the one to go through there. So again, it's basically just going through that chain you just made, back through into that centre one there. It's the centre of the 3 loops at the top there, like so. And then the last one, you'll pull through and you'll go into the next one. Now for this one, I'm just going to pop it in here since I finished it off. And when you get to the end of the bracelet, whatever you've finished with, you'll just do the next colour chain, and that'll be what you connect your C-clip to, that last chain, and connect to that cap band down the bottom, and you can have a lovely, gorgeous bracelet. So I hope you've enjoyed that and that you've got at least half a bracelet looking lovely. Feel free to give me feedback. Check me out on Instagram. Definitely give Illuminati a look on Instagram. I'll have the details in the description. And this beautiful design again was made by Illuminati, and it's called Raspberry Ripple. And yeah, very cute. Please tag us in your comments and on the picture so that we get to see your versions of this, all the different colours. You can even bling it, do what you like, and we love to look at those. Alright, well, thanks guys, and I shall catch you later. Bye.